Okay, I've had opportunity to review his pre-sentence report and his recommendation. Is he seeking to make a statement on his own today?
I'm not
Yes,
sure.
Your Honor.
Oh,
Mr. Johnson, I can't see you. I've
Sorry.
had opportunity to review his.
Can you see me now?
Give me just a moment. To make a statement on his own today. Okay,
I'm sorry.
I can't see you.
I'm too short. It's fine. Can you hear me though?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I'll try to communicate with you enough adequately that way.
Did you want to make a statement, sir?
Yes, I would just like to state that the jail time's been hard on me and I've really been learned a lot from my time spent here, and I'm very dedicated to, I'm very looking forward to dedicated staying and rehabilitating myself and getting back to the way things work.
Okay, what have you learned from, you say you learned a lot from your time there. What did you learn?
I don't know. It's actually been like traumatic, to be honest with you, the incarceration. So I'm just looking forward to getting back to my way of life, way of life.
What's your
Got
way
a
of
lot of
life?
things to look forward to.
What is your way of life, sir?
Just living my life. Like I said, I'm gonna stay clean. I'm not opposed to probation. I'm fine with that, so I'm dedicated to staying dedicated to that. And then getting in touch with CMH, and then getting back to just living my life, and getting out of this, getting out of the county, getting out of incarceration.
Okay. The concern that I have upon reviewing your prior criminal history and the report from probation, you have some serious issues, sir. One of them being the substance abuse issue, and I think that there is obviously a diagnosis for some mental disability as well. I do not believe that you, at this stage, would be a good candidate for probation.
I really do believe I would be.
I don't believe that you would be, and I was going to explain why I don't believe that. You scored in a moderate to high risk in the needs of companions, leisure activity, neighborhood problems, personality, and substance use domains. You were moderately high in needs of attitudes and responsivity domains. And so for me to release you with the understanding that you're going to do probation, what confidences do I have that you can follow those recommendations, or that you even have a structure or support to make that happen? Probation.
I promise you.
The promise is not sufficient, sir. I need some reasonable, I need some assurance. Do you have housing? Do you have employment? Are you do you have some support in the community that can help get you on your feet? There's nothing that I have before me except for your report, which is not favorable for you to be on probation. And then your prior criminal history. I think that at the time of your plea, there was no objection to 7411 if eligible. I want to state here, it states here you're not eligible for 7411. And so you would benefit from some additional screening from CATS and CMH to determine what mental health services you need. I don't think that you do that on your own.
I promise you I will.
And because of that,
I promise you I will, Your Honor.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask that you be quiet.
I can't stay in the jail any longer.
Okay, you can't even be quiet while I conduct a sentencing. Okay, so with that being said, the recommendation of the pre-sentence report, I believe to be appropriate under the circumstances.
I would appreciate probation.
Probation will be denied.
Please, Your Honor, I've served enough time.
Okay, I'm going to discontinue the sentencing and he can be remanded and he can report in person so I can handle the sentencing without disruption. Thank you. You're all set, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, we still don't have a prosecutor in the courtroom.
Right, he literally just stepped out. Nick is going to get him.
Judge?
I was on
Are we on the Barnes matter?
Just call him.
Okay.
Okay, Barry Schiffer, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Barry Schiffer, file number 23-00524 FY, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Tracy Meyer on behalf of the people.
Is Mr. Hess there?
yes.
There's literally just.
Mr. Hess is here, Judge.
Well, he needs to put his appearance on the record.
Morning, Your Honor. Edward Hess on behalf of Barry Schiffer. I'm appearing in person in the courtroom. Mr. Schiffer is appearing remotely. I can see him appearing by Polycom on the screen.
Thank you. Today was the date and time set for a preliminary examination. Let's see. However, due to my conflict, I needed to go on the record to address the 21-day timeline because this matter, I'm not able to be in the court today to handle this matter in person. And so, Mr. Schiffer, you had the right to have your preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment. You were arraigned back on February 15th. And so that's why your matter was scheduled for examination today. Due to my conflict or the court conflict, I'm going to find good cause to adjourn this matter beyond the 21 days so that I can reset this and get you a new court date. Okay, sir?
You're adjourning the prelim?
Correct. I'm adjourning it to another day.
Okay.
Well, what's the next available?
Is Mr. Hess going to be visiting me before the prelim or not?
Mr. Hess can
Plan to
answer
visit
that, sir.
I plan to visit you next week, Mr. Schiffer, in the jail, just like I visited you last time in person.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It'll
Can I have a
April
date?
13th at 8:30.
April 13th at 8:30. Is that what you said?
Yes,
Okay, that works for you, Mr. Hess?
Yes, thank you very much.
Ms. Meyer, does that work for you?
It does, but just to confirm, you said the 18th,
13th?
13th, okay.
Yes, and then
Oh,
there's a note here that he needs to be attending all of his CMH appointments. Has he been doing that, Mr. Hess?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
Okay, sounds good. Did you have something to add, Ms. Meyer?
I did not, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, any additional matters for the record?
I have nothing.
Not
further.
from the
Thank you, Your
people.
Honor.
You're all set, sir.
Thank you very
All
much.
right.
For the record, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Patrick Barnes, file number 22-03063, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor.
On
Jeff
behalf-
Chip appearing, I'm sorry, on behalf of the defendant, who is also appearing via Zoom, and both of us waive any right or claim to be in court in person.
Thank you. Today's the date and time set for sentencing. Did you get a pre-sentence report, Mr. Chip?
I have, Your Honor, and I forwarded that to my client, and it appears to be factually correct.
Okay, so no need to make updates or corrections. You can proceed with allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just briefly, it appears that Mr. Barnes obviously should, obviously stay away from the victim in this matter. It seems two of them are not a relationship that is a positive relationship. Mr. Barnes is relatively little criminal history. I think there's a diversion back in 2008 for I think use of a controlled substance. He's currently and has been self-employed as a hauler, if you will, and has a home in Lansing that he lives at. I would just request the court in its discretion put him on a short-term or probation with any conditions. Obviously, that the court feels appropriate for both society and the victim in this matter, and leave it to the court's discretion as to any probationary requirements.
Okay, my report states that he didn't appear for his interview. Is that accurate?
That is accurate, Your Honor. I did ask him what the situation was. He informed me that he called, and I guess there was some confusion as to whether or not he needed to appear again. I'm not saying that as an excuse. He should have followed, obviously, all requirements, but I think there may have been some misunderstanding.
Okay, I don't believe there was a misunderstanding because my reports, I was present during this plea. I told him he had to meet with probation for an interview. That was an order from the court. Then I have a report from probation that he was given the date for the interview in writing in a business card for the officer before leaving the probation department. And that after he failed to appear for his appointment, the probation department attempted to reach out to him not once, not twice, but 3 times. And he never followed up. So no, there won't be a short term of probation. He's going to be remanded to jail because he can't follow a court order.
Your Honor, I do have the victim present at this time who wishes to make a statement as well. So.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, I have the victim present at this time who has informed me that she does wish to make a statement before sentencing.
Okay, thank you. She can make her statement. I'm going to have him remanded so that he can then complete the interview that he was supposed to complete. But your victim can make her statement now. I don't see her present. Oh, is that her? Ma'am, can you please?
I am actually Bennett. He's still trying to reach out to me. He's came to my house twice. He's using my email address for apartments, and he just nonstop has been calling my phone private. And he won't leave me alone.
Okay. Okay. Any additional information you wanted to share today, ma'am?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chip, did you want to give any further allocution based on what's been stated?
I don't at this point, Your Honor. I don't, I haven't had an opportunity to discuss with my client any of the allegations just made on the record, and I really have no other additional information for the court. I think, but my understanding was Mr. Barnes appeared after sentencing at probation, and I don't disagree with the court that it was very clear instructions here again. I don't know what the issue was other than his claim misunderstanding.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is either. I think I've given him enough leeway. I even dismissed a potential PA 53 violation in this matter and reminded him of the no contact order at the time of his plea. And so there's no more chances for him to violate or potentially violate any court orders. So Mr. Barnes, you need to turn yourself into the court within the next 48 business hours. So no later than Tuesday at 9 o'clock. You need to be at 54A District Court. Do you understand that? You have to unmute your device. Unmute your device.
You want me to try to contact him by phone, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, wait, did he unmute it?
He did not.
And Your Honor, just so I can inform him, he needs to report to the jail at the courthouse no later than Tuesday. At what time?
He's going to report to the courthouse.
Okay.
I want him to undergo his or complete this interview. So I have to have him report, give him a new referral so that he can go and do what I told him to do before
Okay.
I will consider a request for probation.
Okay. So courthouse no later than Tuesday at what time?
He has to be there Tuesday by 9 o'clock.
By 9 a.m.
And you obviously can work with him about what time if you intend to be there. So,
Can you hear me?
Okay, now you can hear him, Your Honor.
okay, very good. Mr. Barnes, you need to report to the court within the next 2 business days. So I need to see you in person no later than Tuesday at 9 o'clock.
Yes, I hear you on there. And I look forward to probation to get a clean start in life. I worked with the community on the board in our neighborhood. And I'd really like to get my life back together and do that, work with the community. There's a lot of things that have come to light. And I have some police officers that are friends, and I'd like them to take me under their wing and talk to them on a lot of issues that have come to light for the benefit of all concerned. And I'd like to talk to you and see you when I come in Tuesday and have a private meeting. That's a very big concern of mine for events that have occurred through the past relationship that Ashley Bennick and I had, with situations that I had no control of through her doing, and took the blunt of it with being threatened by a gun and stuff, and found out information that she was going and talking to dealers that we dealt with and stuff. And I look forward to probation. I also look forward to working with the police. I do fear sometimes my safety, and I would not agree that she will talk to these people if I bring the whole story to light and all that. I'm hoping that I can give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she's a victim in another situation and can explain all this. I'd rather not have it where she is part of it. I'm going to ask the police to watch my house in the meantime and all that. And I do hope that you take this series of someone that would hit a woman and all that. And if you get to hear the story, then you'll see what I'm talking about, that I'm not that type of person and view me different. But I do hope you take this series of someone that would do such a thing, because my future in life depends on you not liking someone that would do something like that, because I am not that type of person. But the information I have, I'd like to talk to you personally for the safety of everyone involved.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you can't have conversations with the judge.
I'm
personally.
sorry.
You have to go through your counsel. Other counsel has to be there. You can explain your situation to probation, and the judge is going to, I take it, delay sentencing, obviously.
Okay.
She gets a PSI, and then you can address issues that you feel of concern at sentencing.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Ship. I didn't want to cut your client off.
I know. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, so Mr. Barnes, are you clear as to what you need to do?
Yes, I have to report Tuesday. Now, can you say the time again, please?
You need to report, but no later than Tuesday, 9 a.m.
No later than Tuesday, 9 a.m. Thank
Right.
you.
Which means you could go in Monday at any time, which I would
Correct.
probably
Correct.
recommend.
I would also think that Mr. Chip, you might want to accompany him. I'm not sure. But he's going to get a new referral. He needs to meet with probation, and they can update their report, and then we'll get you a new sentencing date from that. But if you don't appear, sir, I'm going to have to issue a bench warrant, okay?
Okay, so he's just appearing, just for my clarification, Your Honor, he's just appearing to check into court and then head over to probation for the probation PSI. He's not being held for purposes of contempt at this point, or being held until sentencing.
No, I'm not remanding him into the custody until sentencing at this point. He's going to come, we're going to get him a new referral, and he needs to follow the court order if he thinks he's going to have a chance at probation. Otherwise, he can serve his jail time.
Okay,
I'll be there.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm going to reiterate that there is a no contact order. That no contact order did not go by the wayside because a plea was entered. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in this matter. Do you understand that? Or with the victim? Because there's been a entry of a guilty plea on this. Do you understand that, Mr. Barnes?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I fully understand that.
You're not to have a contact directly or indirectly with Ashley Bennett. You're not to be within 500 feet of wherever she lives, works, or goes to school. You're not to assault, harass, intimidate, beat, molest, wound, or threaten Ashley Bennett. Do you have any questions about that?
No, I fully understand, and I will talk to probation and be fully cooperative, and this will give me a chance at a new start in life, and I embrace it.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record today, Mr. Chip?
Nothing further. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Barnes.
Thank you. So this is done. I can.
Yeah, you can get off the
leave.
meeting and I'll call you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Is that Genia?
Yes, Your Honor, that is him from the Isabel County Jail.
Are we ready to proceed on his matter?
We are, Your Honor.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Genia, file number 21-03209. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Aaron Schroeder from the Office of the Public Defender stepping in for Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of Mr. Genia, who appears today from the Isabella County Jail for his sentencing.
Thank you. Today was the times and state set for sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report. Did you get a copy of that?
I did, Your Honor, and I did review it with Mr. Genia over the Zoom application. We read it and reviewed it.
Any need to make corrections, updates, or deletions?
Yes, Your Honor. He indicates to me that it sounds like some of the jail credit may need to have adjustment done to it based on the fact he has been in custody at this point now since December 22nd of last year till today. In addition to, I don't know how he has prior credit. It looks like he was in custody from November 26th of 21 through January 16th of 22 in addition. As well as he has resolved what was listed originally as a pending matter out of the 55th District Court, which have been the assault, great bodily harm, less than murder. That case was resolved with a dismissal back in January of this year. There are notes in our file that reflect that that was nollie prost back on January the 10th of this year. Let me see what else here. So that was resolved. He is currently in Isabella County Jail on a pending charge for domestic violence that is still in the process of working its way through. I don't believe that is reflected in the report either, as it is a more recent charge. He does not have a projected out date on that matter as of this time. He has been there since January 17th of this year on that matter, after being transferred from Ingham County Jail. I believe that those are all the updates, Your Honor. He indicates he does believe he still has employment, but is not working at this time. He believes that he would still have employment when he is released, but that won't be for a bit yet, unfortunately.
Okay, so obviously this report is outdated. It's from December 2021. At the time he had 13 days credit. What is the total credit now?
So with regard to what I am seeing here, and this is just going off the report as well as what's in our system, Your Honor, I tried to go through the jail's website and I was not able to find anything because he hasn't been at Ingham County for a while. Because he was picked up when sent to Isabella County. I believe he has credit. The credit, I believe, from the 22nd of December last year to today, according to the way our system counts, which I think is the same way jail time is counted, is 72 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other, November 26, 21
How do you shut this fucking thing off?
through January 16th of 22. If I may, let me just see if I could get my calculator to do that time period. It'll take me just a moment, Your Honor. I apologize for the delay.
No problem.
I did not think to do the other math, for whatever reason. So let's see what that would end up being, if I can do this correctly. 21 through. Okay, so if he were to be allowed to have credit, oh, I still didn't do that right. I know, man. Didn't start my date correctly there. All right, if we were to give him the credit for the time also that he was in from November 26th of 2021 through January 16th of 2022, that would be an additional 52 days. So I think
November, let's see, he was arraigned on this on November 27th.
Yes. Of
2021.
Yes.
The report says he has credit for 65 days, but that was from December 2021.
Yeah. So if we were, I got 50, the way if he was arraigned on this on the 27th of November 21, I would argue, since he didn't get out, it looks like until sometime in January of 22, that he would get that credit for those days. So the 52 days there. And then I think I said additional 72 days. Let me double check that. I'm having to reset my calculator here in order to do this, make sure I'm doing this properly. Oh, come on. So I wanted to make sure my brain did not think earlier.
Okay, and the concern I have is that after his plea, I gave him a PR bond.
Yes, I think he had holds, and that was why he stayed in.
So he wouldn't be accruing credit. And it doesn't look like he had a new bond until December of 2022.
Your Honor, I will defer to you. I don't have a December date in my file here, but I would obviously defer to the court on that.
Yeah, I amended based on the motion to amend his bond on December 10th of 2021 to 5,000 personal recognizance. So he would not have been accruing any credit on this file because he was out on PR bond. It looks like he did not appear to his sentencing. He was set for sentencing on February 4th, 2022. And so we did not see him again until this past December 2022.
Okay. I will defer to you, obviously to you, Your Honor. You have more of the information in front of you. I'm trying to play a little bit of catch up here, so I do apologize for that.
And this report having been drafted in December 2021, it said that he had 65 days then. That was before we got him back in custody on the 22nd of November.
I understand. I apologize, Your Honor. I missed that, the 65. I greatly.
Yep, that's on the last page of the report. I recognize that the first page, it says something about 13 days credit. But
that's where I got confused.
Yeah, but it says 65 on the.
I understand, Your Honor.
Portion of the report.
Yes, Your Honor. I missed that, or I did not.
Okay, no worries. Any additional allocution?
Well, Your Honor, what my understanding is after speaking with Mr. Genia is that while in the report there, it is over a year ago, I do realize that the interview itself, the content of the written report is not very complimentary to his behavior on the day of the interview. He does recall that day. He said, I just was in a bad mood. I was upset at my own situation. And I wasn't responding in a way that I should have been responding, and things just weren't working out. But I would indicate with regard to the questionnaire, which was done prior to the interview, it indicates that he was recognizing he had a substance abuse issue. It was recognizing that he'd had family members express, a lot of those boxes were checked as yes, which does run counter to what I saw in the written report of his verbal answering to questions. So I do think there is acknowledgement of Mr. Genia that he does have a problem, several problems, unfortunately, that he's never dealt with and needs to deal with. He indicated that while he was at the Ingham County Jail, he did try to sign up for CATS as well as for the 12-step meetings and other meetings that they have at the jail. But unfortunately, during the time period he was trying to sign up, the jail was still dealing with outbreaks of the COVID-19 as well as other viruses. And so they were limiting or canceling classes. And so he was never able to avail himself of those classes while at the Ingham County Jail, despite signing up for them and being put on their wait lists. He has, while at Isabella County Jail, has been trying his best to avail himself of some of the reading materials for the AA programs to try to at least work on himself as much as he can, since he is in custody, and it's just trying to use his time appropriately. He has indicated to me that he does understand that he's got a lot of problems, and a lot of them date back to, I think, some problems and according to the report, probably some issues in growing up, as well as substance abuse as an adult. And unfortunately, that has resulted with him in sitting in Isabella County Jail for some time now, awaiting the outcome of another criminal matter, which he does not expect to be out at the earliest between April and May of this year. With that being said, and the fact that he does have time credit at this point for not the full year that he was originally of the charge he pled guilty to in front of this court, it is still some significant amount of time, several months, and it looks like he's going to have several more months. He's going to be at least incarcerated in Isabella. I'd ask the court to allow him the opportunity to have time served and to work on and allow it, and just so he can work on some things while in the jail. Indicated he was wanting to continue trying to seek out treatment in jail at Isabella, and he's tired of living this life, and unfortunately he keeps on making the same choices and getting himself in the same problems. And he indicated to me he wants to stop that, and I indicated, though, that has to do with his choices. But at this time, Your Honor, I don't believe necessarily probation would be appropriate, given the fact he will be in custody for at least several more months on an out of county charge that may or may not result in additional probation or maybe additional jail time. Thank you.
Thank you. And did your client want to make his own statement?
Mr. Genia, if you want to speak, oh, I think you're muted, sir, if you do want to speak. You still got to press that mute button. There you go.
Hi. Yeah, I had lost my father and my brother when I was arrested, and a lot of that helped rethink my life, and well, that's all. I lost them both in November, 3 days apart. But
okay, well, I would agree with your attorney after reviewing this recommendation and your criminal history, and in light of the fact that you have other matters that are still pending in Isabella County, that you have already served a significant amount of time on this file. You are someone who clearly would benefit from some extensive services. You're just not in a position where I can meaningfully get you those services right now. You scored high risk in many of the domains, sir, and at least at the time of your interview with our probation department, you were uncooperative, and I don't know if that was just because of your current physical state, being that this was a use of controlled substance. I don't know if there was something that was going on with you physically or medically at that time, but you weren't very cooperative. And so what we really have to base our sentencing here on is your prior criminal history, which is largely assaultive. With that being said, I am going to sentence you to 120 days credit time served. I based on my math, think that you already have, if not the full 120, very close to that. You had 65 days credit up until the time that you took the plea. And then it looks like you would have retained or accrued some more time back in between December of 2022 and now. So that's the order of the court. 120 days credit time served, and there will be a $75 crime victim rights fee that's assessed, $50 state minimum cost, but that will be referred to collections, and you can make arrangements to have that paid once you're released. Okay, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions today?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you for the court's time.
Thank you. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Allen Wayne Warner, file number 22-03501. Counsel appearance.
Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Warner, and we are both appearing over Zoom today.
Okay, you can hear us, Mr. Warner? I think he just
I think he hit the wrong button to
hit the
unmute
wrong
himself.
button. And I don't see him anymore.
Okay.
He might have accidentally clicked himself out. Okay, I see Tyrese Lett.
Yes, we can proceed on that matter.
We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tyrese Lamont Letts, file number 23-00041. Counsel appearance.
Brian Ring on behalf of people standing in for APA of record Angelo Del Vero.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Letts.
Thank you. Today was the date and the time that was set for preliminary examination. Due to my conflict and inability to be there, I need to waive the 21-day timeline or find good cause to go beyond that timeline. So, Mr. Letts, you can hear us clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you have the right to have a preliminary examination in this matter within 21 days of your arraignment. You were arraigned on this back on February 16th, but due to the court conflict, I'm going to find good cause to adjourn and go beyond that 21-day timeline to get you a new date, okay?
All right.
While we get you a new date, counsel, was there anything we should address while we're here?
There was nothing on behalf of the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I would just state that, in speaking with Ms. Del Vero, I knew she had a conflict today anyway. We were certainly planning to adjourn anyway, so certainly not the court's issue. We were going to be doing this regardless.
Okay, sounds good.
March 30th at 9 a.m.
Your Honor, I'm going to be out of state the last week of March. Is it possible we could do a different date?
Absolutely.
Starting on the 24th, I guess.
Maybe in April, I think.
We can do April 14th at 10.
April 14th at 10 work for you?
Yes, sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, do you have any questions today, Mr. Letts?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Nothing on behalf of people. Thank you, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Letts. Thank you.
All right. Have a nice day.
Same to you. Mr. Warner, can you hear us?
I can. I apologize for that. Thank you.
Oh, you're fine. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Allen Warner, file number 22-03501 FY. Counsel appearance.
This is Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Mr. Warner.
Today's the date and the time that's set for a sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. You got a copy of that, Mr. Goodrich?
Yes, Your Honor, and I went over it with Mr. Warner, and we do not have any changes or corrections to it.
Okay, you can proceed with allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, Mr. Warner does not have any type of criminal history that I could find. He regrets this decision. He had, I guess, probably what we would call buzz driving, where he wasn't drunk, but his decision-making clearly was impaired on that occasion. He certainly regrets his actions. He's a guy who works full-time as a sales manager at Custom Lawn Care. He's shown up to court early every time. I think he's the kind of person who would do exceptionally well in probation. So we would ask the court to follow the recommendations in this case.
Thank you. And did Mr. Warner want to make his own statement today?
Mr. Warner, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I have nothing. Thank you, though. Shush. Sorry.
You're fine. This is the matter in which he pled guilty to an attempted plea and an alluded 4th degree. I don't see any prior criminal history. Looks like he's employed full-time. Looks like he served 2 days on this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not inclined to order probation at this time, and that's based on your prior criminal history. You don't have one. And there's nothing before me that would indicate that you suffer from any substance abuse issue or issue with impairment.
Sorry, I was going to say something. Sorry.
I'm sorry, you can say it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like I told Mr. Goodrich, it was just a bad decision. As far as, you know, in my assessment, if I wrote that alcohol, I guess it's not an issue is the thing with that. It's just bad. I made a bad decision. That's face responsibility of it.
And that's what it appears. And at your age with this lack of engagement with the criminal justice system, I would imagine this was a bad day for you, and hopefully you've learned your lesson. You spent 2 days in jail on it.
It was a long 2 days.
I could imagine that it was. I'm going to credit you time served on that. There will be a fine assessed, though. You have a fine of $300 plus $75 crime victim rights plus $50 state minimum costs. So a total of $425. When can you make payment?
I mean, does it have to be paid at once? I do have a payment plan set up from a previous traffic violation, so.
You can absolutely make payments. How much are you going to make, and how often will you make the payments?
I can do 100 a month until it's paid off. If that works.
When are you going to make your first payment?
Shoot for, let's see what the date is. I'm sorry, excuse me. We'll do the 24th of each month. If that works. Excuse me.
Okay, I'll note that you'll make payments of $100 each month until paid in full, beginning on the 24th of each month, okay? And so your first payment will be due March 24th, okay?
Thank you.
You have any questions about how you make payments?
Nope, not at all.
Any additional matters for the record today, counsel?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
You're all set, Mr. Warner.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you, Mr. Goodrich.
I see Quenisha Hicks here.
Yes.
I don't have her on my docket.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No problem. Okay, who are we waiting for now?
Oh, Mr. Gibbs, your call right.
Mr. Ring, I cannot hear you.
Oh. Judge, we have Alfonso Gibbs in the courtroom. Mr. Austin is filling in for Mr. Cultrider.
Okay, Mr. Gibbs has already waived his 21 days. He just needs a new date.
March 30th at 9 a.m.
March 30th.
You said March 30th at what time?
9 a.m.
Thank you. Do we need to go on the record for any reason on this matter, counsel?
Nothing on the people, Your Honor.
Nothing on behalf of Mr. Gibbs, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, do we know what's going on with these afternoon PCCs?